eRadio Live, powered by TCS Wi-Fi.
It is time for Tech Thursday right here on eRadio Live, and I am joined again by Kaine, and we are discussing this week's biggest tech stories. It's a nice roundup that we do on a weekly basis, right here on eRadio on a Thursday afternoon, of course, being Tech Thursday, and it's between 3 and 4. Kaine, hello.
Hello, thank you so much for having me again.
Yes, thank you for being back. How are you? How's your week going?
Good. We actually had a very interesting weekend. We went up to the Karoo. It was quite fun.
I saw the pictures on Instagram and I was so jealous. You had a good time?
No, it was real good, eh? You picture perfect, really.
Beautiful place, and I hope you were just switching off and getting away from technology for a bit, right?
Some R&R, yes.
Lekker, man, lekker. Now, we've got so many things to go through this week. Let's just start with our sponsor. Our sponsor for this week is the Petit Quoobo. It is a robot with a tail and a subtle heartbeat to comfort you. It comes in this woolly package, and you just hold it against you when you're feeling lonely. Now, I am single, but I'm not that single, Kaine.
This is for when you're renting a house that isn't pet friendly.
It looks like a little pet. It's actually quite cute. It's not really funny. It's quite cute, actually. I'm sure.
Imagine you come and you try. You just touch what looks like to be an alive animal, and it's not. Oh no!
It is by Yukai Engineering, so I think it is a Chinese invention. So that is quite cool. That's our sponsor for today. Kaine, are you starting today? What have you got for us?
Today we have something very interesting. South Africa might have a space agency. Can you believe it? That might create over 10,000 jobs in South Africa over I think it's over 3 years.
Oh, we need that. That sounds so exciting. Tell us more.
The National Treasury has identified digital infrastructure as the backbone for information communications technology and a key factor in supporting economic growth. That being said, the digital sector includes the Space Infrastructure Hub, the digitalization of government records, and SA Connect Phase 1. So, obviously, Treasury had its 2021 budget review, and in this budget review, a portion of the budget was allocated to the digital sector, which includes our Space Infrastructure Hub, the first space center of South Africa. So I think South Africa looked at Elon Musk and said, I think he's doing something right. Let's get our own. And in the process, create 10,000 job opportunities for unemployed graduates.
That's exactly what we need. That's a fantastic initiative.
The first question would be, what will the place do, And the hub will allow for the development of satellite infrastructure, satellite-based augmentation systems, and Earth observation satellites. Now, anyone who knows their thing about satellites would know that South Africa actually does have to rent quite a few in order to get some of the things done that it needs to do on a monthly basis. So this will obviously provide them with the infrastructure to not have to, outsource that technology. And it will provide information that might be used to develop products and services that can allow targeted responses to the socio-economic infrastructure challenges that South Africa might face. So interesting. Hope it goes well.
Very, very interesting, Kaine. So we're going to obviously follow that story and keep an eye on it, and you'll let us know if there are any new developments.
Definitely. How exciting. Very
exciting indeed. Listen, Kaine, following the whole story about WhatsApp's latest privacy update, the Facebook-owned messaging application now decided, and I think it's sort of a we're sorry gift to us, they decided to introduce a new feature to their platform to, in a bit, persuade users not to switch to a new messaging service. They now announced that users who make use of the desktop version of the application will be able to make private and secure voice and video calls with their contacts. I thought that you could do that already.
I say it's about time. It's almost like WhatsApp thought, if we lose any users to something like Signal or Telegram, they're going to realize that on Signal and Telegram, they can make desktop-based calls. So we need that infrastructure. Maybe they got pressured into it.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it, But I thought that you're able to do that already, so I'm quite surprised by that story.
Their competitors offer it, which
Yeah.
is actually a relief for someone like me, because I work on my computer a lot, and it's a pleasure to actually take a call from the PC. Some people might say, "Whoa, why on earth would you want to have a call on your PC?" But when you're on your computer, you can have a lot more equipment connected to it, like mics and speakers and headphones, and it makes a whole new kind of if you're running a business, maybe you want a support line that calls, that can work. Maybe you're in a position like we are, where we're hosting a radio show over WhatsApp and we want the best quality. I mean, we can use the desktop version of WhatsApp to have really good audio quality.
Exactly.
I think it's a good step forward.
Right, and then the other story that I saw this week is, did you know Takealot's got a big competitor that joined us during the course of this week? Takealot's new competitor, new e-commerce player, eRadio, has launched, offering South Africans a wide range of technology products, computers, appliances, and other projects from leading brands. eRadio, that new platform, is actually part of the JD Group. They own many high-profile retail chains in our country. That includes Incredible Connection and also Hi-Fi Corp.
Wow, so they're really actually making a statement to be a good competitor. Here's something that might be very interesting. Takealot initially won a lot of the market share by almost acting in an uncompeted space with pricing that was incredible. And I wonder how their approach is going to be now in order to combat this competitor and maintain market share, because they can't just drop their price at this time. Every shop seems like they have a supply chain which can, very well contend with someone like Takealot. How are they going to defend themselves? Oh, it's going to be hot for the next year, eh? We're going to get some good deals.
Yeah, the consumer always wins in these cases. But I know Takealot's actually being investigated also by some kind of competition commission over monopoly or whatever. I don't know. Not too sure what's going on there. I don't want to go into much detail there. But very, very interesting. What have you got for us?
Okay, so next up, we might potentially get, it's almost basically completely sealed. We might get the Lanseria Airport of Cape Town, and one billionaire is making that happen.
I saw that.
He's someone by the name of, his name is Rob Hersov, and he's planning to build a new world-class airport just north of Cape Town.
My word.
Can you believe it? Imagine you sitting at home and you say, I need a project. I need a hobby. Right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build an airport. Yes.
And that's a lot of money, so this guy must really, really be rich.
Yeah, and he must actually, he must be a good entrepreneur. He's known as a successful international entrepreneur in his own right. He has, among other things, built a successful private jet business, which he sold to Warren Buffett.
That says everything.
Yeah, whoa, so we see where he got the capital injection.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. You're so right there, Kaine.
So he was actually abroad for the last 31 years, and he says now he's returning to South Africa, where he will focus on investments in Africa. This obviously being something, this is quite it's quite a statement to build an entire airport, and in essence they're competing with the airport in Cape Town, and they're becoming part of the, for the consumer here he is winning again, but I don't know, Eon, have you ever seen, when deciding whether to fly to OR Tambo or Lanseria? How do the price comparisons fare up? I wonder if he's going to take a route of like Fly Safair, coming into the market trying to be cheap, or if he's going to take an alternative route, maybe go for, high-end premium kind of service, first class.
So Cape Town will then officially have two airports. That's going to be so strange.
It is, eh? I
can't imagine it.
I don't even know how to. I can't, no.
I can't imagine Cape Town with two airports. No, man. No, I can't imagine it, but it is possible.
I think George to Cape Town.
Yeah.
Sorry, I think George to Cape Town is one of the most expensive routes in the world if you're judging by kilometers.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's just around the corner and you're paying top dollar for that.
I wonder if that price is going to come down. It's such an interesting question.
I hope so. I really hope so. Kaine, when we come back, you're going to tell us about a new player regarding satellite TV here in South Africa.
Exactly. So we had OpenView coming in and contending, and now we have someone else. Someone else is coming in to try and win the market share.
Right. We're gonna go into that story just after these.
Get the eRadio SA app right now for free on the Google Play Store. Entertainment radio on the go.
Welcome back to Tech Thursday. It's Eon and Kaine with you till 4 o'clock, and we're looking at the week's biggest tech stories. We're talking about a new pay TV, or rather a satellite TV service coming into play here in South Africa. I just saw that it's free to air, so they obviously don't want your money. But Kaine, just before you get to that story, that would make sense why DStv will be opening all their channels, Supersport channels, this entire weekend this coming weekend, the 13th and 14th of March. They're opening all their Supersport channels to all DStv customers. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Is it just for one day?
No, 2. 2 whole days of watching Supersport for free, bro.
Yeah. I wonder if they want to let people like when you go and you try and get a trial. I wonder if it's like that. I wonder if it's like test our service kind of thing. I mean, if you're going to pick a market, pick sport. You might get more subscribers.
But Kaine, MultiChoice, they're actually known for doing this, hey? Do you remember in the days of Mnet, you know when you didn't have a Mnet decoder, when open time was over at 7 o'clock, then you would get the scrambled visuals on your screen. Remember that?
Oh, yes. I remember that.
So you would get this scrambled image at 7 o'clock. It will cut off, and then you won't be able. You would just see every now and again you'll see like a face of a person, but you can't hear anything. It's just all scrambled. Now, MultiChoice back then already, they had these oopsies, but I think it was intentional, where they left it on, Mnet on for everyone at 7 o'clock till say about midnight. So that night you would have Mnet the whole evening. I mean, that was such a spoil. It was such a treat, man. And I think they were working with a plan there as well, kind of let's show you what you can have and then we'll cut it off again.
Yeah, that's actually such an interesting marketing technique as well. I mean, that's very interesting. If they did that on purpose, it explains why they're going back to their roots.
I think so. Why else would it stay on? I mean, I always thought, oh gosh, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm picking up like some kind of secret signal or something. I'm not going to tell anybody, but I'm watching Mnet tonight for free, But I think it was actually all planned. But anyway, tell us about this new service. When are they coming, and how and where? Right.
So the first thing is this particular competitor to OpenView and DStv isn't necessarily a newbie in the space. Since late 2018, the service has been available in West Africa, Ghana and Nigeria specifically, and now they're expanding a 25-channel bouquet for free to South Africans. And the particular name of this business is called Premium Free, and they're planning to move into South Africa quite soon. I think it's as soon as the 1st of May. And the interesting thing about this platform is they're going to be broadcasting unencrypted data, which means you don't even need a smart card or anything to decrypt the data. Essentially, any decoder, even DSTV's decoder, should be able to read and understand the channel being broadcast. Whether or not you'll be able to watch it on a DStv decoder is up to speculation, but Premium Free is able to actually push content to South Africa because it bought a transponder on the Intelsat IS-20 satellite. So part of a strategic business development plan, obviously.
Yeah, but you know what, Kane? These free services, these free-to-air services, they're just not worth it. I think they're definitely for the more low-budget households, But the channels they're offering...
You would definitely think that perhaps, this is going to be a cheaper alternative. But, one thing that went through my mind when I heard about this was, maybe this actually is something a little bit more strategic, in the sense that if we're going into the day and age where Netflix is very, very cheap, Amazon Prime is very, very cheap, DSTV is very, very expensive, there's OpenView, which is a once-off purchase, and then you've got it basically free forever. The thing that's going to make the most money for the cable company, for maybe Amazon Prime, not necessarily Netflix, is going to be open-end advertising. It's going to be the ability for a company or an advertiser to reach their target audience by being able to advertise on a particular network. So the greater the size of Premium Free's network or viewership, the greater the amount of money that they can earn through things like advertising and sponsorships and things like that. So if this is a strategic idea in order to maximize viewership, it might be a good idea, but they're really going to have pressure on them in order to generate revenue, like for sure. Very interesting. The content you'll be able to watch will be anything from sport to movies to telenovelas, kids shows, documentaries, drama series, gospel, comedy, and reality TV.
Yo, I wonder if it's worth it. No, Kane, I must be honest, I've seen one of those, what do you call it, OpenView packages, or what do you call those? Those other ones, not DSTV, the other one. It used to be Top TV, I think. It's OpenView. It's called OpenView now. Anyway, I've seen the channel offering on it, and I'm just not impressed. It's all these, I don't know how to describe it. If I had to describe, I would say it's all these second-hand channels, The content on it is just not good. It's all low budget. They're showing Anaconda and all those movies, that we've seen countless times. So I'm just wondering, no, that's definitely not worth it. And also, why would you go into the satellite TV business if streaming is all the rage?
Yeah, some people, they just make no sense, No. This seems like, just in terms of technology and infrastructure, satellite doesn't seem like the best idea.
No.
But OpenView is definitely a alright deal to the person who's on a budget, because you're getting high quality content. If you're watching, let's say, for a year or two straight, you've definitely made your money back after 2-3 months, I think, in comparison to something like DSTV. Do you get a alright amount of viewing experience? I don't think so. If you're a person who's watching TV 18, 16, 12, 8 hours of the day, you're just not going to be impressed, because just the amount of variety of content,
the repeats, man, the repeats. Yeah, look at DSTV. Yeah. They've got big budgets and they're repeating stuff all the time.
Totally true.
I just discovered there's actually a snag to that offer by DSTV regarding that Supersport offering. It's only available on the streaming side of DSTV, so not through your decoder. It's only open on DSTV Now, on the app or the website. On your other devices, you can log in if you have a DSTV account, any package, and there you will be able to stream the sport for free this weekend on the 13th and the 14th of March. That's interesting. It looks like. Yeah, well, hopefully you've got uncapped, man. Hopefully you've got uncapped. Another thing we just mentioned, MultiChoice, in wrapping up now. MultiChoice has slammed a proposal by the SABC that DSTV be required to collect TV license fees as part of a reform of public broadcasting laws in South Africa. The proposal from the SABC was revealed in its policy submissions on the Department of Communications and Digital Technologies draft white paper on audio and audiovisual content services, which aims to modernize SA broadcasting regulations. The public broadcaster has proposed that the current TV license fee system be scrapped and replaced with a device-independent, tech-neutral household levy for public broadcasting. So would that be the idea you discussed last week or the week before?
It's very interesting. I would have to read up on some more of the specifics, but I mean, it sounds relatively, it could work. It could work. But the only way that it's good, I mean, the goal is obviously to collect money, but the over-ending result that we want to see is that money being used, in a way that actually expands the opportunities for South African youth and entrepreneurs and captivates and educates our audience. I mean, if that's where that TV license money is going, then please collect it by whatever means necessary. But if that isn't the case, then it's just, there's no use in it at this point. It's not bettering a service. We're not getting higher quality content from it. I mean, if anything, take away SABC, we still have content. I mean, it's that simple. So the reality is really going to be, what is the money used for, and does it go towards something that actually benefits us in our day-to-day life, or is it a quiet fee that never sees day?
Just looking at, here's something very interesting in closing as well. There are currently 7 major streaming services officially available here in South Africa. That's Acorn TV. I'm not familiar with it. Do you know Acorn TV, Kaine?
Never heard of it.
You see, okay. Amazon Prime Video, okay, we know that one, right?
Yes.
Apple TV Plus, we know that one.
Yes.
Netflix, never heard of it.
No, where does that come from?
That should be at the top of the list, man. Showmax is next. Showmax is next. And then you obviously know Showmax. And then there's Video Play. You know that one?
No, I've never heard of Video Play. What's like a Vimeo alternative? What is it?
I literally have no idea. And then there's also VIU. I don't know. Do you know that one?
These streaming services, I think, do the majority of their marketing in major
not
cities.
very good.
Because I don't hear any of
No.
from
No,
that.
believe me. Come on. I mean, if you're on social media and you're not seeing it there, then it basically doesn't exist. But anyway, all of them are much cheaper than DSTV's packages. The most popular, of course, and expensive being Netflix at 139 Rand per month on a standard plan. So, yes, a lot of streaming options available at the moment, and they're looking ever so good, and you can watch whenever and wherever you like. And that's the beauty of it, isn't it, Kaine?
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this. How many of those streaming services would you buy in parallel?
Well, you see, there's another one coming. It's not on the list yet. BritBox is still coming.
BritBox.
Remember?
That's where all the money's going. Isn't it?
Yes, BritBox is still coming. The British comedy box service with all the classic British comedies and all that stuff. Well, I don't know. It's not for everyone. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I like tea and I like pretending that I'm English. So I will definitely enjoy BritBox. So I would go for BritBox, but I would keep my Netflix. How about you?
It's such an interesting question, and I'm going to answer that question with another question. If we have 7 services available in South Africa now, let's say it's 2021, so let's say about 2025, there's at least 21 different streaming services. How does one go about choosing which streaming service to use if they've never used or seen the service before? From an end user who just doesn't know what it looks like behind the red curtain, how does one go about choosing what series to watch? Is it going to come from trying to watch one series? Because it's going to get quite expensive if you're just trying to watch one thing and taking out a whole new subscription just to see it. So
yeah,
where is the line drawn whereby it doesn't make any sense to have any more competitors? Because if I have to log into Amazon to watch my favorite series, and then I have to log into this one to watch that series, and I have to log into this one to watch a video, I'm going to eventually just stop watching videos and series.
You're right.
I'm just not going to do it.
And then you forget your password.
Such a hassle. Oh, yeah, no. Please don't even get me started there.
Yeah, imagine all these different passwords for all these services and you can't get in. But, yeah, very good question, Kaine. Where's it going to end?
We will never know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to follow the story very closely.
I think some of them will also obviously disappear along the way, you know. The Netflixes will always win.
Yeah, you can't keep offering a service if you're not making any money. So I think a lot of the shrapnel will be filtered out. But that being said, I don't even know if I personally want Netflix to be the dual end-all monopoly, because they're just offering such a great service. Like, that doesn't even feel right. So what would the right, I mean, let's follow it up for next week, but what would the right subscription look like that would make, everyone happy? It's so interesting.
I think if you compare these services, there should actually be a website. Here's a nice gap, Kaine. There should be a website where you can compare all these services, like literally have their catalogs next to each other on this comparison chart maybe on your screen, and then you can decide. I think the one with the best catalog when it comes to the most popular series will obviously win. So that's going to be a fight over content licensing rights.
Yeah, we need like a streamcompare.com.
Yeah, do it.
Something that would give us all the info we need about. Because I don't even know, hey? I mean, I would be very interested to even take all 7 of those streaming companies, add their monthly subscription together, and say, what am I looking at here in terms of getting access? Because everybody wants to be able to say, well, let me just get everything. But is that even going to be a viable option? Will you be paying like 2,000 Rand a month to watch everything? I mean, that's a TV a month. It no longer makes sense.
Kaine, I think even if you add all those services, even if you have all 7 or 8, you are still going to pay less than what you're paying for a DSTV premium subscription. I think so.
Someone Imagine someone who's had a premium subscription for like 10 plus years. You like 1,000 Rand a month. That's 12,000 a year.
Sure.
For like 10 years, it's just 120,000 Rand on entertainment.
No, that's too much, man. That's too much.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's a lot of money.
We got to follow the story closely and try to give someone an idea of what to choose. At the moment, I think, what would you rate as the best streaming service? Do you think it's Netflix? Do you think Netflix still takes the lead?
I think at the moment Netflix takes the lead. Kaine, how about you?
Even against someone like Amazon Prime?
I don't have Amazon Prime, so I can't say. I think I once had a trial, but it obviously ended and it wasn't good enough for me to sign up permanently.
I feel like that's where I'm at as well. Netflix did something clever where they have these Netflix originals, but they just got such a better collection of Netflix originals than something like Amazon Prime originals. I mean, there's a few things that Amazon Prime owns that is really good to watch, like the Grand Prime or whatever it's called. It's with Jeremy Clarkson, Richard Hammond in it, that they used to do Top Gear. That's good. There's a few on the nose TV shows like The Boys and things like that some people might like, but Netflix does meet a lot of the category demand that is there, the drama, the comedy, the documentary, the crime drama. You've got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I think Netflix takes the lead. It's a close battle, but I think Netflix still holds number 1 at the moment.
That's it. I mean, they've got the Breaking Bads and all that kind of, those big names on their catalogue.
Absolutely. And those actually where what makes the big difference. They've even got some oldies but goldies.
Yeah.
But do you know what the absolute worst thing is about Netflix that I am? It's like a massive pet peeve for me. I wish Netflix didn't do it.
I know. I think I know what. Let me guess, okay? I think it's that thing after 4 or 5 episodes, it's asking you if you're still watching. Is that it or not?
That is annoying, but it's not that.
What is it then? No. Wait, no, man. What is it then?
It's the dubbed shows. The shows that are made in another language and just dubbed, voiced over in English.
And poorly so.
I would rather watch a movie with just subtitles the whole time than try and watch something that's been badly voiced over. I just can't.
Yes, I know, like the accents and then just the timing and the voices, how they compare to how the people look. It's not even a match. You've got this massive guy with massive muscles, and when he speaks, he sounds like meep, 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 meep. So all those things. Eventually, a drama turns into a bloody comedy.
and there's just something about the environment in the room that doesn't make sense. It's like it's like every scene is absent of ambient noise. You know what I mean? There's.
You're right. Yeah, it's all studio. It's all fake.
Exactly. It's just not. It's not there. And Netflix keeps doing it. They keep showing this thumbnail that's in English and this description that's in English, and it just looks so interesting. And then you go onto it and you're like, they've done it again.
Yeah,
I've been bambooed.
Yeah,
you know?
It looks so good. You're absolutely right. Like, you're out of options, and you go through the catalog, and oh gosh, this looks good. And then later on you find it's actually like a Danish thing, and you're like, okay, I can't understand what you're saying, so I'll switch on the subtitles and then the audio subtitles, or what do you call that? The audio track. And then it comes on, and you're just like, oh my word, this is awful. And then you just totally switch it off. Oh my gosh.
You start arguing with the people around you. You start arguing with them that, this isn't actually dubbed. You start saying, you start doubting yourself.
Because sometimes it is in sync, and you can be like, hey, but no, this can't be. Are they miming? What's happening here? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. But by the way, you need to watch Night Stalker on Netflix. It is brilliant. Brilliantly scary.
Oh, scary, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Night Stalker. It's a true story. It's a documentary, 4 parts, like that one on the Cecil Hotel. It's a lot like that.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot like that. I mean, that was also brilliant. I don't know if you completed that series, but this one, Night Stalker, I'm actually off to watch the 4th and final episode shortly. And you definitely need to watch it, but watch it during the day if you're scared.
That's brilliant.
Right, and then lastly, a message from a listener that came in a couple of days ago, and she wrote, I'm so irritated, so pissed off, so angry. Yesterday my mom and I were talking about something. It's not a subject that comes up every so often, and it is certainly not something that pops up on your Facebook newsfeed. But 2 hours after our conversation, I was shocked when a sponsored article popped up on my newsfeed about the conversation we just had. I did not Google it. My phone was on the coffee table, but it was not open and all the apps were closed. I know about the Google searches and the algorithms, but this had to be listening in on our conversation. Believe me, this was no coincidence. This is an invasion of privacy. Are conversations in our homes being monitored for financial gain, or have I now joined the ranks of the conspiracy theorists? What do you say to our listener?
That's a very interesting question. And I think there is a lot of truth to it. In a sense, I think that I've especially been using Instagram, and I'll actually, repeatedly repeat a keyword or a search phrase or something like that, and I'll actually get prompted with an advertisement of similar, of similar regard. And I think there is an element of your phone that listens into you. But I think the most important takeaway is there's no human listening into you. There's something that's listening, and everything you say is being converted into keywords, and those keywords are then used as a priority list in terms of, advertisers potentially being able to reach you with content. So yes, people are listening in, but no one is listening back and able to actually compile your sentence and figure out what you're saying. In a sense, there's an automated fashion that's happening, and that is not necessarily intrusive. But what is intrusive is that there is no way to disable. Or no simple way to explore and find a setting that allows you to disable the app being able to listen in. Another interesting thing about the phone is there's actually no way to turn off your mic completely outside of an app or a call or something like that. It's not possible. You can stop an app from being able to use your mic, and that might stop it. But outside of that, your options are limited in terms of what you can do to mitigate that.
Yeah, unless you want to put a piece of press stick over it, I suppose, like we're doing with our cameras on our laptops. Maybe you can put a little piece of press stick over your microphone when you're not using it on your phone at the bottom. Maybe you can try doing that. They will get muffled speech, maybe.
You could definitely try doing that. I think the best thing that you can do is try and take away the permission for that particular app to be able to use your microphone. You might be sacrificing something, like on Instagram, for example. You won't be able to communicate via an Instagram call because your phone won't be able to use, the app won't be able to use your phone's mic. But to take that away, that's the only thing that you can do until there's enough noise created that functionality is completely removed from Instagram. But these companies are kind of transy in the sense that they're constantly trying to get as much information as possible while giving the consumer, the person who's using the app, as little information as possible to put the dots together. Like, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually download the data Facebook has on you, and there's all these things that we can do, but there's no direct, they will prompt you about this new sale that they have or a new way that you can turn off ads and things like that, but they will never prompt you about the ability for you to turn off how data is collected for you, and that's really where the contention's got to be.
I hope that answers the question to our listener. It certainly answers it for me. She asked that I didn't mention her name, so we didn't mention her name. But then, Kaine, in closing now, I mean closing. Very, very sad news that we got this week is that one of the longest running newspapers in the Garden Route published their final edition this week. I don't know if you heard about it. Sea Express just published their final edition this week on Wednesday. I think that is just heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know. Hey, sure. Cheers to a legend.
Death of print, unfortunately. I just didn't know it would be so soon. Maybe that's something we need to talk about as well in the near future. Death of print, with everything going digital, unfortunately.
Definitely. I think it will definitely be an interesting conversation to have, and especially considering, what are the alternatives and how meaningful picking up a piece of physical, something like a newspaper. It's so physical. To replace the magazine and the newspaper and the action ads and all of these things that we're so used to, it's going to take some getting used to. Yeah. That's for sure.
Sea Express, you will be missed greatly. Rest in peace. Kaine, thank you so much. That was another very interesting program. And we'll do it again next Thursday, Tech Thursday, right here on eRadio at 3 o'clock until 4 o'clock. Or maybe you're catching the podcast later on eRadioSA.com. Remember, we also want to hear from you if you want to get in touch, if there's something you want us to discuss. Maybe you've got a question and you want to drink from Kaine's fountain of knowledge. You can send it to 081 060 1640. That's our WhatsApp line, 081 060 1640. And if you don't want to mention your name, that's fine too. Kaine, thanking you.
Thank you so much for having me on another great Thursday, and looking forward to next week. We got lots to talk about.
Awesome. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend.
You too.
Thanks,
Cheers,
man.
Everyone.
Cheers.